On my journey of improving myself, I've noticed that the more that you grow, really, the more that you will realize that the weak voice in your head that's telling you to go back to those habits, it's telling you to go back to those activities, like those, less, whether that's just, you know, doing things that will satisfy your flesh, but will hurt you in the long run. Like, those thoughts will never go away. They're always going to be there. But one thing that or really multiple things, like this video is just going to be a list, like a random list. I initially wanted to do, like, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just going to say it as it is, really. So, whenever I find myself in a weak mindset, because there's a difference between being a weak person and having a weak mindset, because people see, like, these strong people, people see these bodybuilders, people see these people who are stoic and, they have they just have a calm presence to them. They all have that weak mind. It always creeps up on them. Nobody is immune to it. But one mindset that, like, one weak thought I've had that I've worked to override is, it's cliche, but really the cliches are the foundation to the success in all those motivational speakers. They're foundations to success, and that is the weak thought of, oh man, just give in, just give in to your, just give in to weakness, just give in to those desires, that make you feel good but actually make you feel worse in the long run. Like, those are weak. Even, like, say you're in the middle of doing an assignment you're actually passionate about, and you have that weak thought. That is an example. And yeah, the strongest people, they undergo those thoughts, as well as just another weak thought I've had to overcome is, you're doing something wrong. It's like, quote unquote, you're doing something wrong if this person is complaining. Meaning, I am responsible for how other people react, whether that's family, whether that's, friends. That has been a thought a lot of the time, that I need to go about my life in a way where everybody is pleased. Nobody looks at me weird. Nobody has any resistance, like, obviously, when you're talking to people, you want to come across as, natural and just, full of life, really. We want people to approach you, but what I mean is, a lot of people think that they have to sacrifice this edge of, this driven edge, to be like the best person they possibly can, to please people who are weak-minded, other people who are weak-minded. And like, we kind of take in this thought of, oh man, these people can't handle, the person I'm becoming, so I should just go back to being like them. Like, that's a weak thought. Like, this person doesn't understand, or this person has an emotional reaction, I should just stop. It's too much for them. Because, and this is thought I've had so many years, so many times throughout my adolescence, and people react emotionally to you improving because they are insecure about themselves, because they realize, man, so-and-so can do that, why can't I? Or why does so-and-so have to make me feel so bad about myself? Oh man, I'm going to give this person a hard time instead of dealing with myself. And that is another weak thought I've had, just not going the extra mile no matter what people have thought, and just living comfortably. to please, people's perceptions. And another weak thought that I am overcoming is what's it? It's been always dictate your life based on the advice people give you. Now, that is not to say don't take people's advice at all. Always, search for guidance. But it's up to you of how to live your life. And now this is something, the thing is though, what I'm describing, as I mentioned before, it's such a foundational idea, but most people see it so much as a cliche and so much as like, oh, woo-woo crap, that they don't implement it because, for one, the way that it's spoken is most of the time there's no action backed up into it. Now, and that is why, kind of quotes like that, kind of left on deaf ears, unfortunately. But all that aside, you always take advice from people that you know are actually helpful. Because there's difference between helpful and unhelpful advice. Because if you've ever noticed people you go to and then you want to get advice from the person, and it's just an endless cycle of you just oversharing your thoughts and just constantly talking and not taking action, and the conversation just keeps going and going and it's just never ending, then that is just an unhelpful conversation. There's just added conflict instead of saying, boom, okay, here's a solution. Thank you for your time. That's basically it. Most people, when they're searching for help, some people talk to will just be feeding thoughts to get the other person think differently instead of giving them the time to think individually for their specific situation. Even if they don't mean it. There's some people who, in ways to be, quote unquote helpful, say things that unintentionally discourage the person. Like they could mention a thought that discourages the person from actually from taking their own advice or trusting their own intuition, or trusting the own individual message God has given them, and like sacrificing that, because before on this channel I started to talk about God more, I was thinking, oh man, people are not going to be friends with me anymore. I just can't. I gotta avoid talking about God. I can't. They're going to think I'm a homophobe. They're going to think I'm legalistic. They're going to think I'm this. Then nobody's going to talk to me. So, if people don't talk to me, that is their problem. If people are not patient in understanding where I am going, and by me, I'm talking about anybody watching this video. If people don't understand you for where you are going, and people don't want to be confident, are not confident in your own conviction and what you want to do, then they are not your friends. They don't have your best interest at heart, and they don't want to take the time to fully understand the ideas that you hold, and the positive impact that you want to carry out with those ideas, because we live in such a world where people don't have the attention span to fully understand the concept, and they see things like they're posters. They see people like posters, and they see and like, you know, like kind of like posters, you kind of, and also as like, you know, those like stuffed animals where they're like on the paw or something, there's like a button you press and that stuffed animal kind of says one saying, and that saying defines what that stuffed animal is. It's like they kind of see you as that. They see you as this stuffed animal where they press a button and you say one thing, and that's the only thing that they see you as. They don't see you as anything else. They don't see anything. They don't see the good they don't see more of the good intentions that you actually have. They just put labels on you. They don't understand the full complexity of your character. And this is kind of going into another weak mindset I've thought of, as just to deny the complex person that I am. And that this goes for anybody. I think in the world we live in today, people see each other as, we just see each other as tuning into our animalistic desires. And while, you know, there is some truth to that, you know, we need food, you know, we need sex, you know, to carry on the population, we need, excuse me, you know, we need connection, we need, you know, we need, to make money, to continue for society to move forward, etc. You know, those are important, don't get me wrong. But when people don't understand the complexities of the human experience of how to get there, and that there are inevitably going to be obstacles in order for the person to get there, they just put on these regular, and I know it sounds like in this video I'm talking about, you know, it sounds like I'm blaming the, you know, putting blame on other people. That's not the intention. The idea is, this is like going back to it, this is just a limiting belief that the weak mindset that I've had that could apply to other people in regards to kind of denying that we are complex creatures. Denying that, for example, making money is not going to be easy. You know, you don't just, and that is how the world fools us with all these, you know, with these scams and people saying, oh man, if you click this link, you're going to get millions and hundreds of dollars. No, you know, you don't have to do any work. You know, people get fooled by that. There's other fools in terms of connection as well, where you know, you ever had the moment, like there's kind of people are in this mindset. There's this mindset where where people want things quick, and the quicker they actually get the things, the worse that their life will actually be in the long run. Because for one, if you want quick connection, people usually go to Tinder, Bumble, just all these dating apps for quick connection. And then when they actually get it, there's no connection. When they actually, you know, when they think, oh man, I got the checkbox, you know, filled for connection, I'm good. Then they realize, oh wow, connection, it's actually harder than it actually is. It's not as easy as this dating app presents itself. And that goes for, you know, for being successful at somebody's purpose. People think, oh man, you just gotta wake up and get at it, and there should never be a problem. That's just not how a purpose works. There's going to be mental obstacles. There's going to be doubts, and there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be actually narcissists who will hold you back from getting to that goal that you know you deserve to have, that God wants you to put in your life. It is way more complex than this world puts it to be. And that comes from, you know, finding out, you know, when I'm talking about connection, finding, you know, the right partner. People just think, oh man, I'm just gonna see this girl because she's hot. You know, I'm just gonna smash this girl because she's hot. Everything's gonna be happy and butterflies and rainbows. No, you know, the connection is not a physical attribute. Connection is, you know, is understanding the intricacies of a person. And we kind of also live in a time where, you know, sex isn't really sacred anymore. People just think, oh man, I just get this person, you know, I just sleep with them, and then you know, everything's great. No, it's just it is such a complex concept, because when you think about it, I know this whole video is kind of going longer on a tangent, but this is kind of just dissecting the thoughts, the weak thoughts, because a weak thought isn't just like, oh, you know, you fix it and then boom, it's done. No, it's more complex than that. And I know I'm talking really fast in this video, but this is kind of the first time I've really been invigorated to, you know, share. But really, you know, if somebody's kind of putting it to like, I guess older terms, like if somebody's, you know, seed is powerful enough to create a child, then you know, is like, how meaningless is that? You know what I mean? Like how insane is that something this small can create a child? Like that's a big deal, and people don't realize that, you know. But outside of that, you know, what was it? I think another limiting thought is to kind of, I was going to think of another, but this is kind of similar. I think I pretty much mentioned them. Like, I know I kind of mentioned 3 things, but there was, I know for like the second and third one, especially the third one, I talked longer than I expected. But this is kind of, I'm going to actually be continuing, you know, my intention really is to be continuing with these videos about, you know, progress with getting rid of the weak mindset, because we all have them. Just, you know, a lot of people just are not comfortable in sharing it because they care about what other people think, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is just not really a quick update, because this video is close to 18 minutes. But, you know, thank you for those that are watching, and you know, thank you for the support for this channel. It's been pretty insane, really. You know, the time of recording this, I appreciate all 185 of you. And yeah, I'm just going to always be aware of your weak thoughts and conquer them.